And
Pasco.
what's really cool too is like Black Eyed Peas were an international group, so it's great to have a song out, and we've already traveled in the world. So we've already been to Paraguay, we've been to Brazil, we've been to China, Malaysia. We're here in the Philippines for the SEA Games, UK, America. So we're already starting off with our new home, Sony, in the classic way that Black Eyed Peas loves to work, travel the world, perform for folks, bring joy. It's dope.
Since you're in your new home, what should fans expect from you? So with your new music,
Just that Black Eyed Peas energy that we bring, the good times, the positive, festive music that people love to dance to, work out to, athletes love to play sporting events or play games. It's the music for everybody. It's an international frequency, and we're proud of all the great content that we've got coming out in 2020. We're excited to get back on that, that whirlwind of international touring as well.
There was a time when you dabbled into EDM or dance music, and then in your last album, you sort of returned to your hip hop roots that you're going for in your next record.
So this next record is you could say it's like Afro Latin. It's fused with Afro beats, it's fused with like reggaeton, Latin beats, but done in a Black Eyed Peas way. So Afro Latin is the terminology that I would like to that describes the vibes. It's melodic, lyrics, party music. You could play the whole entire project. It's like a playlist. Instead of making an album, we made like an awesome playlist.
Is there anything in particular that inspired you to pursue that direction, musical direction?
Yeah, in 2007, dance music was underground. The rest of the world didn't really know about it. Just the people that love dance music. And in 2008 and 9, it started growing, and I think we did a really important role with David Guetta with I Got a Feeling to really take dance music everywhere. And as big as J Balvin is and reggaeton, it's still not everywhere. Like they don't play it in China. They're barely playing it in Australia. It's big. They don't play it. There's no like Latin clubs in London. Like, think about what dance music did. There were dance music clubs everywhere. Vegas was not Vegas in 2007. Think what dance music did to Vegas. The same thing's gonna happen to Latin music. Same thing's gonna happen to Afrobeat. So that excitement of like this new electricity and collaborating with the folks that are part of the community that are, pioneers in that community is a blessing. It's an honor to be rocking with Malumas, to be rocking with Becky G's, Anita, to be rocking with, Team Salute, the Afrobeat producer. So it's really dope.
Apple, you've been in and out of the Philippines. So what's it like to come here to bring Taboo and Willa, and do you serve as their de facto tour guide and all that?
Oh man, it's always a proud moment to be able to show my bandmates, the development of Philippines, and I always try to show them new things. I remember when I first met Will back in '89. I used to tell him like, "Yo, what is it like growing up in Philippines?" I'm like, "Oh, I go farming. I take care of water buffaloes." It's like, "Yeah, right. You have a pet bison." I was like, "Yeah," and then we pump water out of the ground, and we wash clothes by the river, and he didn't believe me, until when our first concert, I was able to take him to Sapong Bato, and it's like, "Wait, that's what you were talking about, exactly." He's seen the people washing by the river, and then and the water pump is still there actually, And I got the show in Puning. It's in back of Sapong Bato, which created by the Mount Pinatubo when it erupted back in 1991, and it created all these hot springs. So, I want to take him to. Will got to see Bohol. We rode the ATVs and drove by the chocolate.
I went to the
hills.
I went to my. If I was Filipino, I would be from the Chocolate Hills.
No, it was funny because he wrote a song called the Apple Song, and in one of the lyrics he says, "How would you feel if you had to catch a meal?" We went to his house for the first time and we saw chickens and they were chilling, and his mom's like, "All right, you guys ready to eat?" And we're like, "Yeah, cool."
There were 9 chickens when we walked into his house. After we finished, there was 2 chickens. I'm so happy that everybody owns it, because Apple has it's a pretty amazing house community. He has his chickens, he has his rice fields, and he has the pig. So, and there were amazing, beautiful animals at one point in time, living life, being very happy. And so, I'm vegan now, so yeah.
Now we make them kangkong adobo, tofu adobo, tofu sinigang.
It was delicious last night.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
You guys, in between the Black Eyed Peas, you guys all have your individual projects. So after that, what's it like to get back together again?
Individual projects, that's not what I signed up for. So Scream and Shout, the songs with Britney and Justin Bieber with That Power, this didn't feel, it was successful, but it didn't feel like, that's not why I don't want to do that. Every night I would go on stage like, I miss my group, I want to be with my group again. And Polo, my manager, would be like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? There's 20,000 people out there. I was like, yeah, but that's not, I don't want this. That's not what I want. I want to be with my crew. So this is family. This is like a brotherhood. It makes you feel like you're a part of something.
Taboo.
Yeah, so 5 years ago I battled cancer, and I did chemotherapy and the whole 9. Pretty much was down and out battling cancer. And I always say this in interviews, but one of the most important things that kept me fighting was, first of all, my wife and my kids, but also knowing that I could be on stage with my best friends again. And while I was going through my battle, all I could think about was the joy and the happiness that being with Will and Apple since I was a teenager brought to my life and gave me life. So that spirit and that camaraderie kept me fighting on so that I could continue living, which initially allowed me to beat cancer because I had that to take my mind off of the trauma that I was experiencing. And I always say, at one point I was like, yeah, I want to do the solo thing. I don't ever want to do the solo thing. That's not my thing. I love being on stage with my boys. There's other things I can do, but being a solo artist is not really my thing. I love being a Black Eyed Pea. I love the opportunity that we can be to provide service and do philanthropy, but also start companies and brands and things that we can branch out and do, but solo artist is not my thing.
Yeah, even with our side projects, we're still very well involved. Will is always involved with, he's the one that pushed me to do Beba, really, one day it's like he was making a beat and it's like, yo, how do you say hot chick in Tagalog? I'm like, oh yeah, that's Beba, and then he started like Beba, and it just become, and my crew make me believe in myself, and they push me to represent my culture. So, it ain't nothing like it without them.
Yeah,
You know?
it's important for everybody to know, like, he has an amazing opportunity to be such a great ambassador of hope and inspiration to all its people in the Philippines, and he inspires us. And sometimes when he's feeling a little down and out and kind of doubts himself, we have to be like, no, look at this. This is what you have, and this is the great opportunity that you could bring to your people. And that's just something that, I learned about App, is that because he's such a humble guy, he doesn't really allow it to get to his head, and that's the special thing, the bond that we've had as Black Eyed Peas. He keeps us centered and humble.
Speaking of representing countries, so talk about the performance, the SEA Games. How did you get them to join you?
Yeah, I just when I heard about the SEA Games, I just wanted to do the torch run. I'm like, because Will did it in the UK, and I was like, I want to do that for my country. And then I was asked to do the opening ceremony, and then going back and forth with SEA Games, like, oh, do you think the whole Black Eyed Peas would do the closing? I'm like, well, let me run it to them, and Will got a really busy schedule. It took me about a month, and to get the yes, because he had to move mountains to do to be involved for the closing, and now it's I can't. We're so excited. I'm so excited that they're here, and for this historical, momentous event. And this is celebration for our athletes, for putting a hard work to represent our country in the SEA Games.
Last two questions, please.
Last two. So guys, this would be the last two questions. So what is music to you, and which gives you more fulfillment, writing a song or performing it live? Well,
Music for me is a tool to change my reality, because I was poor growing up, and now my family is great. They're not in harm's way, and so because of that, writing a song is my joy, because I get to see the future. I get to see, like, I'm writing something that one day is going to be in somebody's life, and it's going to make people happy. And I have to do the best job I can just to make sure it's the thing that people are going to select to be in their life. So for me, that is the most precious moment.
Last question.
Trevor?
You haven't asked the question.
Sorry, I had a whole list, but everyone asked the same questions as me. I'd just like to know that now since Apple mentioned that you guys have busy schedules, what's the process like? Like, if you have an idea in your head, do you call him or phone him? Hey, I have an idea. Like, what do you think about it? Like, what is the process like, and how long does it take for you guys to agree on something before it comes out?
He's Mr. FaceTime.
I FaceTime all the time.
All the time. He'll FaceTime me or him. Yo, check this out.
I'm on the toilet.
He's like,
I'm like,
"Yeah,
bro, check this out. Wait one second. So basically, what I was saying was washing my hands. Yo, bro, seriously, I FaceTime all the time. And we talk 3 times, 4 times a day. And so with that FaceTime, no matter where we are, it's like we're with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And making decisions, the only time the decision is hard is if we're separate on the planet. If I'm in London, App's in LA, going back and forth from LA, Philippines, and Tab is, in LA. Tab has a family. So that dynamic is the only thing that's new to our dynamic. But it hasn't changed anything. Right? It hasn't stopped us, it hasn't slowed us down. It actually just puts more purpose in what we do, right? Because the only 2 people that are Like, me and Apple are still like we're still 25. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tab, he's always been a father, but he's a family man now. So, you know, we have to be mindful of everyone's, like, you know, what everyone's passions are, their purposes, their obligations, and it just everyone's interest just makes the Black Eyed Peas stronger. You know, like Apple. Now we're 45 years old. When we're 55, how has Pampanga changed? And what can we do to help change that? Right? Like, look what we were able to accomplish from when you came to America at 14 in 1989. Right? What can we do to help change Pampanga? Like, how do we go from like people that write songs to write business plans? How do we go from that to develop, you know, your community better? You know, how do you bring business to Pampanga? We can do that. Like, we can do that.
And there's so many creatives in Philippines. So we want to, you know, bring the value up and you know, teach entrepreneurship and business, and you know, beyond, you know, building schools. I think it's time to build the youth and you know, our unfortunate kababayans.
Sir Apple, one more question. Fans have been asking for it, and the show is still really big here. It's The Voice. Are you willing to go back into coaching, into being one of the coaches for The Voice?
I think I guess I could announce it now.
You can?
Huh? I don't know. I don't know. What? Yes, I have the biggest interest to be back on The Voice again. Yeah, I want to do it again.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I want to do it again, over and over again.
Thank you.
I just make it there.
Guys, can you stand up so they can get back?
Okay.
It's been enough.
And then we're